Hey, how's it going everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing an updated deck profile for Ice Barriers. Now this has kind of always been the meme deck, not very good, but it's a pretty fun casual deck to try out, and I always like playing different and new decks, even if they're bad. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this if you're trying to play some Ice Barriers, and hopefully it can help you out with getting a guideline. But just a heads up, I do just build these decks with the cards I have, so there might be some better options and a lot better tech choices as well that I just don't have access to. So just really quickly giving a heads up on that. But yeah, let's go and get right into it. Starting off, we got 3 Revealer, of course. The main monster you always want to try to open up. This one lets you discard a card to special summon a tuner from your deck, so it can help with synchro plays if you're running Crystron and Helki Firebrax, which a lot of the Ice Barrier builds do run, because they run the more combo heavy variants. This really isn't. I kind of built it to be more control, but yeah, it can help with synchro plays, can help with link plays, stuff like that. Really nice card, really nice addition to the Ice Barriers. And then the other really nice addition is the Speaker. This card is pretty sick because if you control an Ice Barrier, you can special summon it. So this is kind of just a 2-card combo to get out a Toad with Bahamut Shark. Really nice. And then when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon a token level 1. Help with link plays, of course, and synchros. But I forgot to mention, you are locked to water monsters for the turn when you activate that effect, so keep that in mind. Next, of course, 3 Ash Blossom, kind of just a standard staple. Just really good, helps you slow down the meta decks. You can also try putting in Draw and Lock, which can help against the Drytron if you're playing any of that at locals. Next, 2 cards that you can definitely take out that most builds do not run, but I like it. That's the Silent Angler. That's just a free special summon, but for the rest of the turn, you can have special summon cards from your hand, which isn't a big problem because you're going to probably be ending with that anyways. And then the best tuner, or one of the best tuners in my opinion, is the Spirit of the Ice Barriers, Hexa. This lets you send a card to the graveyard or an Ice Barrier tuner monster to the graveyard to gain those levels. So if you send a 3, it becomes a level 3, and so on and so forth. Really nice to get resources to the graveyard, such as the level 2 Ice Barrier, Zuijin. Really cool. He lets you target a monster other than the turn that he was sent to the graveyard. Target a monster, reduces level by 2, and special summon it. So if you get a really good synchro out, you can special summon him for basically free, which is really nice. Then next, for the rest of the tuners, I do run the 1 Defender. Might bump it up to 2 and take out the Geomancer. Mainly because Defender is really nice, because if you have another Ice Barrier on the field, it kind of locks your opponent. They cannot attack with a monster that is equal to or more than this card's defense. So, really tricky situation. And then, of course, the Geomancer, really only useful if you're running the combo heavy variants. I just like it as a level 3 tuner. And then the last one is the General. This one is pretty cool because if your opponent controls more cards than you and you control an Ice Barrier monster, you get to special summon it and then search one of your Ice Barrier spell cards, which is amazing. Which you'll usually go ahead and grab the Medallion and then search out with Medallion the Revealer, which is usually what I do at least. Then next, Wins over the Ice Barriers, a really nice card. You can target any number of Ice Barrier monsters you control, send them to the graveyard, and then special summon monsters with different names from the deck. Can help you get rid of cards that aren't very helpful, kind of like if you draw a Hexa in that card, you can summon the Hexa, use that, bring out the Revealer, discard for a Revealer, and then special summon a tuner. Can kind of help out with bricky hands, and then when it's in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it to add one of your banished cards to your hand, which usually you'll be banishing the speaker for the token effect, so that's really nice for kind of a recycling option. And then of course the Searcher Medallion of the Ice Barriers searches out any of your Ice Barrier monsters, which is really nice. Then 2 of the Freezing Chains, I just like it at 2 because it only gets the effect of Special Summon a monster when you activate it, and then its secondary effect doesn't really come up too often. When you have 3 Ice Barriers on the field, they become unaffected, I believe, by opponent's card effects. Yeah, unaffected by activated effects. So it doesn't come up too often, but still a nice little extender. For draw power, of course, Pot of Desires. You can even consider running Pot of, what is it? If you have a Pot of Prosperities, those are nice options. And then the one that banishes the extra deck, I'm forgetting the name right now, but you can also run that too, depending on how you build your extra deck. Next, 2 Twin Twisters for back row hate and Mystic Mine, of course. It's a bit of a pain, especially with a low tier deck trying to fight through back row. Then a Book of Moon, still kind of an underrated spell in my opinion. It can slow down a lot of plays, especially Tri-Brigade. I've been playing that a lot recently, and when I get hit with something that puts my monsters face down, it really hurts. Then 1 Instant Fusion for just a 4 real quick to get into the Bahamut Shark to get to the Toad in case you don't open up a way to get to it first turn. Then for the traps, 3 Infinite Impermanence, the best staple trap in my opinion for a lot of decks. Not every deck needs it, but like the lower tier decks, definitely try to pick them up. They're really strong. And then one of my personal favorite cards, 3 Crackdown. Just being able to steal your opponent's monster can be a game changer. And then last but not least, 3 Solemn Strike. Being able to negate a monster effect or a special summon is incredibly strong. Helps you stay in the game. And you only have to pay 1,500 life points, which sometimes it can be a pain, but in these lower tier decks, it doesn't really affect it too much, because either you're going to be able to stop your opponent and push for game some way, or keep that grind game, or you're going to lose either way. So, I mean, it's not that bad. Then, for the Instant Fusion target, Mudragon, Brionac for the Synchro 6, then Black Rose for Synchro 7. Now, of course, when you're locked to waters, you'll have to wait a turn, or make sure you don't use an effect that locks you to waters to summon this out. So there's a lot of different options you can look into where you can make the whole extra deck basically water, which is really nice, but I just threw these in because I like the options. Then the Gungnir, really nice. This has actually come up a bunch when I was playing Ice Barriers a few months back. This was my favorite synchro to go into, just because I'm able to destroy cards. And then Borreload Savage Dragon, really nice. And then of course the big one itself, Trishula. And then the new Trishula Zero Dragon, which is really strong. I've only gone into it once in an actual match, but it was really devastating when I was able to. Then the X-Seeds, one Totally Awesome. Gagaga Cowboy, just for that weird chance to get game. Abyss Dweller. Bahamut Shark, of course, to bring out the Toad. And then for a couple links, Knightmare Phoenix, Knightmare Unicorn, and Borreload and Borreload Sword Dragon. A link that you can put in here that's really good, but I traded mine away, unfortunately, is it's one of the marine sets. I think it's Coral Anemone. I might be saying that wrong, but yeah, that one's pretty strong because you link it away, and then it lets you, you link 2 water monsters, and it lets you special summon a water monster from your graveyard. So really strong. But yeah, this is kind of just a fun, casual build. So hopefully you guys did enjoy it in some way. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.